What's cracking like in YouTube? I'm never saying that again. That was terrible, man. Get to the intro.
Kyle Kaminsky on the tackle. Another big play by Kyle Kaminsky.
57, Kyle Kaminsky.
I really came from a city where head busters, drug dealers, the paving the way. Police stop me trying to give me a case. I see them likes get the pill in the way. I put in overtime in the studio. Apologize if I push you away. From my family, I've been making a way. Ain't got time for the rest, ain't got time for no breaks. They try to count me out, so I had to pave the way. They try to count me out, they see that I paved the way.
To start, guys, if I ever say that intro again, please unsubscribe. Not yet. I haven't said it again. I'm never going to. But that was a very poor intro. I tried bringing energy, and What's Crack-a-lackin' came out. So if I ever do that again, please unsubscribe. Do yourself a favor. But yeah. So it's like 12 a.m. right now, and I have nothing better to do. So I was like, might as well shoot a little video for you guys. Little sit down talk. Basically, this Sunday. I know I've been dropping those day in the life videos every Sunday, 4 p.m. This week I'm not doing it. Honestly, it's not the same without my guys. Basically, everyone knows AK had his surgery. My boy Liam just had surgery too. And then the other kid, Elijah, who you guys see, he was in the last video, I'm pretty sure. The last day in the life. He just had surgery on his shoulder, and with everybody going through the appendix, Liam had elbow surgery, and then Elijah having his shoulder surgery. I was like, you know what, might as well go and talk about one of the topics we talked about in my This Is Me video, which is injuries, and basically talk about my story with them. The battles I was fighting, coming back from that, and just any advice for y'all that I could really give, and just talk with y'all a little bit, and hopefully help you guys out if you're going through what I went through, or if you know anybody who's also going through an injury and is trying to overcome it. So yeah, that's basically it. Let's get right into it. So to start, if you didn't watch my This Is Me video, I basically last year had labrum repair surgery, which is in your shoulder, if you guys don't know. And it first happened senior year of high school, in a game against Del Barton. I reached out to tackle somebody, and I felt like a little pop. My arm didn't feel right. It felt like a little, numbish. And after that though, it felt perfectly fine. I didn't think of it again until one day I was bench pressing. I was maxing out, and I felt pops again. But this time it felt a little worse. But I was like, maybe it was just me being sore, whatever, not used to it. Maybe something just tweaked out a little bit. And I continued the workout. I finished the whole workout. And then we did a field workout after that. And I was with my boy Jordan. I was telling him, I was like, bro, this does not feel right at all. Every time I moved my arm like this, it was just straight clicking. And I just knew something was screwed in it. It was like a pain I've never felt. It sucked. And if you guys watched the This Is Me video, you would also know this was my right shoulder, but in 7th grade, I dislocated and tore my left shoulder. So, this time it honestly felt worse. But I was older now. I went through a shoulder injury before. I never got this one fixed, but I went through a shoulder injury before, and when you injure something, definitely if it's a serious injury, you tend to injure the other side. A lot of people who tear, let's say, their ACL, they'll sometimes tear their right ACL because you're more likely to tear the other one if you already tore one. So I guess it was the same thing with my shoulders. I messed up my one. Eventually, it was time for my right one to go, and it sucked. But I tried to just fight through it. Went and did physical therapy, and I felt like it was getting better, but it really wasn't. Basically, I got warned before going into my freshman year of college, and like that season, I got warned. They were like, it's not gonna heal itself, so you can either get it fixed now before your season, or try and play it out, get it done after the season, whatever. I was like, I don't want to miss my freshman year of college, or freshman season. I've been working my whole life to get to this point. Why would I want to miss my first season ever, reaching my goals and, finally doing it? But, I try to play through it in practice. If you watch the This Is Me video, in practice, me and this kid collided. My arm was done. My season was done. Had to go get that surgery. So now my season's done, and it sucked. It sucked watching from the sidelines. It was honestly the worst thing I've ever had to deal with during football. One of the hardest things to do. I haven't missed a season of football since I started at I think I was 5 years old when I started. And I've never missed a season before. I missed games here and there, but I never missed a full season. And it was hard. It was tough. But I knew eventually I'd be back. So basically during that time, since I couldn't physically be training really, I was lifting still a little bit before surgery, because I was like, I'm going to get as strong as possible right before this surgery. So that way, hopefully, I have a little more strength after it. And it's easier to get that strength back. Which I feel like it did help a little bit, but I knew really I was going to be restarting from the jump once I got that surgery. I still went to every practice, every day. Still went, and since I couldn't physically, train, get better, practice, I basically was just doing everything mental. I knew eventually I'd be back, so I had to be the most prepared I could be for when I get back. So whether that was watching film, studying my playbook, watching people and their technique, definitely the kids in front of me, definitely the starters at that time, because eventually I want to be in their shoes and be starting. So I was just learning from everybody, learning as much as I can, soaking up as much knowledge as I can. That way, when I get back, even though I wasn't training all this time for my physical attributes, stuff like that, I was at least going to have it mentally down, so eventually when I get back, that's easy for me. One of the hardest things during this time was just staying motivated. I was trying to train as much as I could. I couldn't lift heavy, couldn't do certain lifts. It was hard, but, just do as much as I can. It was tough to stay motivated in the classroom too. Definitely when really I had other stuff going on too at this time, and football's always been my escape. So not having that, it sucked. It was hard on me, but I just had to stay positive. I had to just remember that eventually I'm gonna be back and my time's gonna come. But I'm taking a little detour now, but I'm gonna get right back on track. Now the season goes by, and we're in January. 3 days before my birthday, actually, January 13th, I get my surgery. So the surgery happens, and here's my advice when it comes to the surgery. Stay calm. Stay relaxed. I was stressing for a while going into surgery, I'm not going to lie. I had a lot of things on my mind. I was scared I wouldn't come back the same player. I was scared this injury was just gonna keep happening. They wouldn't be able to fix it. It was like one of those things. I don't know if you guys keep up with basketball, but Lonzo Ball, he's on the Chicago Bulls. He has this injury that he's had for years. He just can't get it fixed. That's how I personally felt. I've had shoulder problems my whole life. I felt like it's just gonna keep happening. And I was just stressed out that they wouldn't be able to fix it, or they would fix the wrong thing. Like, I didn't trust my doctor. But if you live in Jersey, go to Dr. Blank. He is a legend. He made this surgery go great. He's in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. Go to him. He's actually phenomenal. But he was actually my second doctor I went to. So he's a legend. Basically, just stay calm, stay relaxed, and just trust the process. I'm telling you, stressing about it isn't going to do anything but make it worse. That morning of the surgery, I think we had to get there at like 6:37, something like that. It was crazy. It was crazy early, but I just listen to gospel music. Gospel music, something that always keeps me calm, and I was just playing that. I prayed a few times before the surgery, and I was just so relaxed. The doctors were talking to me, and even they were saying, they were like, "You're just so relaxed during this. Like, most people are like all scared and jittery," and I was just like, I was cool, and I was talking, I was joking around with the doctors. If you seen me before the surgery, you would have thought I had 5 surgeries before this already, but it was my first one. But I was just staying relaxed. I was like, I trust them. I trust what they're about to do to me. And I was really just hoping for the best after it. But I put my faith in them, put my faith in God, and I got through that surgery. After surgery is when the fun started. I wasn't in that much pain after the surgery. It honestly, like, it wasn't bad. The first day or two, my parents never come in my room, but that day they just loved barging in. So like I'll be playing Xbox or whatever, they'll barge in. I'll be, I'll just jump up, move my shoulder up, and I was just, oh my god. And like there's a lot of times like after that surgery where I thought I retore my shoulder. I'm not gonna lie, I was stressed. That's when I was stressed because like you feel any sort of pain, you're like, damn, I screwed up. Like I'm about to have to go back. Like it sucked, but it was normal. So if you're having shoulder surgery and you feel a little pain, it's normal. Trust me. Now, after time goes by, I start PT, and it sucked. Definitely like the first day or two, they're literally like, you barely have motion in your arm, and they're basically just taking your arm and going like it sucked. And then while they're doing that, you're just feeling like and it's literally just like it feels like you're tearing your shoulder again, but it's just what they gotta do. They gotta try and get that motion back, and there's like a bunch of broken, like I think it's like broken scar tissue, and that's basically what that like sound is, or like feeling is. And there's like another thing I did where it's like a wheelie thing, and you basically pull down. So let's say my one arm's here, it's like 2 pulleys. You pull down and your arm just goes up like this. That was one of the worst things I've ever had to do during PT. It sucked. It was the worst feeling. And again, if you're doing shoulder rehab, you're probably going to have to do it. I'm praying for you because that sucked. After some time, PT honestly started getting easy. Then I started doing more advanced stuff. I started catching a ball, which I'm not going to lie, that was one of the hardest things to do, because there's many times before my surgery where I would try and catch a football. I would throw my arms up. It would be the worst pain of my life. And that was one of the main things that was very mental for me. Like, doing those movements that used to hurt me, doing those movements again, it was like hard mentally. Like, there's many times where my one physical therapist, he would throw me like a ball, and like instead of just bam, catching, Like, I would kind of like, I would go up more high with my left hand than my right, and it was weird, or I would hesitate. You know, it was very mental for me. I had like mental blocks with certain things, and that was something I had to get over, but eventually I did, and you know, I felt PT was going great. I was ahead of schedule, and I was building a lot of confidence in myself, and really getting motivation, like more motivation to just start going hard again. And after I think 4 months, 3.5, 4 months, I actually got cleared, which very quick for my surgery. Obviously, I couldn't go and play a football game if I wanted to. Like, I was cleared to start lifting, and stuff like that. But spring ball was happening now, and I couldn't play in spring. I took spring season off, but at least I was able to start like running around at the practices. I was able to start lifting a little bit, or at least slowly getting back into lifting, because I was kind of already lifting. I'm not gonna lie, but like during those lifts, I was actually able to start holding weights and stuff, and actually being in the weight room, because like before that, like at least right after my surgery, basically when they were in the weight room, I was in study hall. Like, I was just studying, doing homework, stuff like that, just because I still wanted to show up and like be with my team. But if I couldn't lift, I was gonna do something. So I was basically studying and doing homework while they were lifting. But yeah, so I finally was able to start lifting, and I felt good. I felt confident. I was like, yo, I'm finally coming back. And now is when I started doing better mentally, because now football and being back playing is looking way more realistic. Now we get to summertime, and I felt great. I felt I had full mobility in my arm now. I felt like confident doing the movements and stuff that originally I was just, scared to do. And I basically, during summer, I lost a lot of weight. After surgery, I got up to 255. And since I used to be a linebacker, like, I know I switched to DN, so I had to get bigger. But I got too big too fast. I'll put it that way. At 255, I felt slow. I felt unathletic. I felt sluggish. And since I was a linebacker, I like using my speed. Like, I like using my little quickness off the line, stuff like that. That's kind of how my advantage was gonna be for the end. And I know I needed a cut weight, so I went from 255 to 230, and then eventually we get to summer camp for football. Now I'm gonna flow through this part of the story because I'm trying to get to where I could give advice, stuff like that. So I'm gonna fly through this. Get to summer camp, and my whole goal was to just prove myself. I wanted to make a name for myself. I wanted to show what I could do, and I was really going against the odds. I had shoulder surgery, so I'm coming back from an injury. Haven't played a football game since my senior year of high school, and I changed positions. So I was going against the odds. Now, during summer camp, we went through the scrimmages, and I was slowly going up the depth chart a little bit. I was getting noticed, and I felt good. There were moments during camp, during practices, where I felt my shoulder wasn't fully 100%. And, it was whatever. I knew it wasn't going to be feeling great all the time. It took a beating still. But for the most part, I was feeling good. I stayed healthy during the season. And my main goal really during the actual season was to make the travel list. And, some schools I think might travel everybody. But I know a lot of D3 schools, there's a travel list. And I think my school, we have 60 kids who travel, something like that. Depending on the game, of course, whether it's an overnight, whatever. But I just want to make the travel list. Like, I knew I wasn't going to come in and start probably, whatever. But I want to make travel list. I want to get a little playing time. And I made the travel list our first away game. And I also made the travel list for our first overnight game. So I didn't even expect to do that. But, you know, I went, I chased a goal, I reached that goal. And I got some playing time throughout the year. And it was great. I felt my freshman year since I did medical redshirt year. I forgot to mention that earlier. But I felt that freshman year went better than I could ever imagine, honestly. After that season goes by, I felt I really proved myself throughout that year. But I felt small. Because after I lost weight and got to 230, I ended up playing the actual season at 215. And I felt small. I felt really small. Definitely some weeks, certain game schemes and stuff like that, I felt small. I felt like I was getting bullied. But you know, I felt pretty good, and I was kind of just glad I came out healthy. But I knew I got it. I knew I had to improve on some things. I knew I had to get bigger, had to get stronger. But that was stuff that now I could really work on because I'm finally fully healthy. So, going into that season, I was lifting, but not as much as I wanted to be. I still couldn't really lift heavy, stuff like that. So I knew now, since I'm fully healthy, this is my time where I could finally lock in and, you know, come back this upcoming season, the best player I can be, and keep improving on that. So spring ball comes, and I got bigger, got stronger, and honestly, I did my thing during spring ball. I made a name for myself, got recognized even more, and yeah, so that's basically me coming back from my injury, and now I'm gonna get on to what really I went through and my advice for y'all. So really, like I was saying, during this time, you're gonna go through things. You're gonna second guess yourself mentally if you're gonna come back as the same player you left. You're gonna be scared of going through surgery. Definitely, if you've never had it before, you're not gonna know what to expect. And it gets tough. You know, you're gonna want to be doing things that you normally could do, but you just can't. It's gonna suck if you have to miss a season and watch your teammates play, have fun, possibly win without you. It's hard, but I was just talking to my boy Elijah, who's had the same surgery as me, and I was just giving him advice, and one of the main things I told him is, if you're scared that you're not gonna come back the same player you left, like I was scared about, you just gotta think this way: you don't want to come back the same player you left. You want to come back better, and I keep reminding him, I'm like, bro, don't even sweat it. You're gonna come back stronger. You're gonna come back a better athlete, and this is gonna be the best thing for you. Like, just think this way. Right now, you're injured. If you're watching this and you are injured, right now you're injured, right? If you're not playing at 100% because of this injury, how good are you really gonna be? You're not gonna be your best self. So, just think, after you get this fixed, now you could literally just come back a better player. Like, being injured and trying to play through it, whatever, you know, you're tough. Like, I'll give you that. You're tough, whatever. But if you're not playing as your best self, like, you're wasting your time. I felt, honestly, redshirting was the best thing that's ever happened to me, because that freshman year when I came in injured and tried to play through it, I was not going to touch the field that year. Like, I wasn't going to touch the field. I wasn't strong, wasn't big, none of that, because I couldn't lift before the season. Like, I could, but I couldn't at the same time. I wasn't working as hard as I could because really I was just trying to stay healthy and not get hurt. But I was playing timid. I knew, like, if I hit somebody a certain way, my shoulder was going to be done for. And I just wasn't playing as my best self. And I was hurting myself, hurting my eligibility because I was wasting my time that season. I was gonna hurt my team if I ended up playing because I literally just wasn't my best self. And that's literally my main advice. Like, don't doubt yourself. Like, it's a minor setback for a major comeback. I know it's like corny to say because everybody says it, but it's true. Like, and that's just how you gotta think all the time when you're going through something like this. You gotta remember you're gonna come back a better player. As long as you stay motivated, as long as you stay committed to the process, because it's gonna be a long process. Definitely depending on what you had going on. Luckily, mine wasn't too long, but it felt longer than it was because before surgery, I was waiting a year for this. And it's a long process, but you just gotta stay committed. You just gotta stay on the right track. Like I said, when you're not physically able to do something, I'm telling you, the best thing to do is the little things that maybe you weren't doing as much of. Like, if you weren't watching that much film, now's your time to start watching film. If you didn't really know the playbook too well, if you didn't really study the playbook too well, now's your time to. Because if you can't do the physical things, start doing the mental. And honestly, maybe when you come back from that injury and now you could do both, you might be ahead of the game and be even better than you left. I'm telling you, learn from me and do it. Now, this is for my peeps actually who aren't going through an injury but like know somebody who is. My main thing I'm gonna say is be there for them, support them, and just keep them motivated. Like I said earlier, a lot of people could lose motivation because of this, and start down themselves. Keep them up, keep them motivated. You don't understand how much it will help somebody. I'm gonna try to scroll through this quick, but Elijah, if you're watching this, I love you, bro. But this is basically when Elijah told me he got surgery. But just ever since he told me that, I was just sending him long messages. We were just having talks about it, whatever. And I was just checking up on him every day. That's what you gotta do. You gotta check up on your friends. You gotta make sure they're doing good. You gotta make sure they're not doing good physically, but mentally. That is gonna be the hardest part. I truly think that the mental aspect of recovering from an injury was honestly tougher than the physical aspect. They both sucked, but I truly think the mental aspect was harder because it was honestly something you just can't control. So yeah, just make sure they're doing good mentally. And if you're going through the injury, make sure you're doing good mentally. The dark times won't always be there. You're gonna get through it. There's gonna be light at the end of the tunnel, and you just always gotta remember that. And even if it's watching, like, honestly, during this time, I was watching videos of other people coming back from their injuries. I know I was watching a video actually. I think he had the same surgery as me, but it was a player on the Chargers. I think he's a linebacker. I was watching a video of him coming back from his injury or whatever, and I was basically watching his recovery process, stuff like that, and it kind of motivated me. I was like, oh, he came back from his injury and now he's balling. There's another dude. He was on Coastal Carolina. He was a cornerback. I watched videos of him and him playing through his injury, stuff like that, coming back from it, whatever. And that type of stuff motivated me. So find stuff that's gonna motivate you and push you. Stay good mentally, stay committed, stay motivated, work hard, and just trust the process. And that's really all I could really say. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna be back with more sit-down videos because honestly, I like talking to you guys. It might sound crazy because really I'm talking to a camera right now, but I know somebody's watching this. Hopefully, but I like talking to you guys. I like these sit-down videos. It's pretty fun. I like kind of just letting things out. Thing that's been on my mind for a while. Like, I've been wanting to talk about this. So, it's nice to finally talk about, even though I wish it wasn't now 1 a.m. But, you know, it was great doing this. It's really been on my mind for a while. And I kind of just always wanted to give advice on this topic and tell my story with it. So I'm glad I finally got to do it. More sit-down videos coming. And I actually got a fun idea I think I'm going to do for my next video. So be on the lookout for that. Next week I may do another day in the life. But really it's not the same right now since my boys who usually are in the videos ain't there. And I just don't want to make it get repetitive, because I feel like if it's just me doing that day in the life, doing a workout video by myself, stuff like that, it's not going to be as fun. It's not going to be the same quality content I want to give you guys. But just be on the lookout for new videos. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Peace.